Hi guys. Today I'd like to review a book um, from Rigan Machado. It's called The Essence of Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. All right, The Essence of Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. Okay, and it's from a unique publication, which is I think is related to Black Belt magazine or one of those older publishers of martial art books and magazines. All right, now I like this book because I started Brazilian Jiu Jitsu back in 2001, and this book was published in 2002. So it's very old school style Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. Unfortunately, my Brazilian Jiu Jitsu style is very old school. I don't have all the new stuff. I don't know how to do the new stuff. I'm kind of stuck in a vacuum. My school's in the middle of nowhere, and so my grappling is basically judo, Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, and wrestling. It's a blend of three. It's not really sport Brazilian Jiu Jitsu anymore. I kind of my students kind of moved away from that, partly because my Brazilian Jiu Jitsu is stuck around 2000, 2004, and I moved to this little town from Toronto 2004, and I'm currently a purple belt in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, black belt in Judo, but my Brazilian Jiu Jitsu is very old school. And so when I read this book, I love it because it's very old school, it's very practical. There's no fluff, and what happened is you can use a lot of these techniques in an MMA setting. You don't need to be very flexible. You don't need to have all these fancy moves, right? And you can get this book on eBay now. I think for around maybe $4, $4 to $6. Used, maybe a new one for around 10. And I love Rigan Machado style jiu-jitsu because it's very practical, all right. And so this book has 127 pages, and unfortunately it's all black and white. So I guess they were trying to save money. I have no problem with black and white, but I wish what they did was, you know, one of the when they were demonstrating the moves, one person wear black and one person wear white. All right. The photos are pretty big, so you can see everything. All right, and the instruction is pretty detailed. Um, and I like the fact that the book doesn't show a lot of complicated moves. You know what I mean? So if you just want to supplement your training, or if you're stuck in the middle of nowhere and you want to improve on your jiu-jitsu, I highly recommend this book. When I flipped through it and looked through the techniques and stuff, I go, okay, I understand what this is going on. I understand what this is. I understand, how things are done. You know what I mean? Um, what else can I say? I love this book also because it has a whole section on Lakelots. All right. At one time, Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, Lakelots were frowned upon, especially if you did Brazilian Jiu Jitsu back in the early 2000s when it first came to America. All right, Lakelots, and Rigan Machado is one of the first people to jump onto the Lakelots and understand lower body submissions. All right. What else? What else? Not too much fluff. The first 16 page, there are basically philosophies and introduction of what Brazilian Jiu Jitsu is. All right. And then after that, he start going into, the techniques. You know what I mean? And each chapter is divided based on the type of submissions. All right. And yeah, nothing complicated. I love this book. And I wish it was color, but it's not. What else can I say about this book? Nothing fancy. All right. So this book was published in 2002. Okay, and so I'll go over some of the chapters. Okay, chapter 10, the science of submission. Chapter 2, so chapter 1, science of submission. Chapter 2, arm lock. Chapter 3, leg locks. Chapter 4, chokes. And chapter 5, without the gis. Okay, and I'll just flip through this book really quick so I don't get any copyright. I love the Nogi section of the book. Rigan Machado was one of the first pioneer of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to win the ADCC, and Rigan Machado's Nogi grappling is very no nonsense, but at the same time very sophisticated. And I really gravitate to their style of grappling, maybe because I started Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu back in 2001, and so that's the style that I'm comfortable with. It's not too complicated. So if you can get this book for under $10, I highly recommend it. You can find it on eBay, Amazon, etc. And this book was published in 2002, so it's 13 years now. So I'm sure a lot of these used books are floating around. Okay, so I hope this is another book I recommend to add into your martial art library, or if you are a judo or jiu-jitsu guy or MMA coach, I would recommend you adding it also.